I'm going to be rebuilding the New York Jets, but with the new addition here of Justin Fields. So if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys like and or subscribe. Let's see if we can get this video to 100 likes. I would appreciate that. But moving into the video here, I have these updated rosters. So if you guys do want to get updated rosters, link in the top of the description on how to download these rosters. As you can see, some of these players are still free agents. I don't sign any of these players or the free agents to their actual teams or cut them until they actually sign with the team, because a lot of players hit free agency, don't really like the contracts that they get, and then they just re-sign back with their original team. So I do update the rosters, but I cannot update the contracts. Do keep that in mind. I just can't. It's just not something EA allows you to do because they're EA. But anyways, this is the team we got. We're in the offseason. I'll deal with the re-signings in a second. They got Justin Fields here. I think it was a bit of an overpay. It was 2 years, $40 million. Sure, $20 million a year for a quarterback in today's quarterback market isn't huge. But for an unproven guy like Justin Fields, I'm not huge on it. I'm not a huge hater of Justin Fields here. I'm not trying to hate on him, but we'll try to develop him the best we can. Just because it's a Justin Fields rebuild doesn't mean I necessarily have to keep him. In simulation, he's typically really bad, but that's in simulation. In real life, he shows flashes. He's really athletic, but you never know with the Jets organization. This is where most QBs go to die, but we'll see. Looking at the rest of the team, we got Breece Hall, we got Garrett Wilson as well. Outside of Garrett Wilson, this receiving core is a bit rough. Offensive line here, it's pretty old. I mean, Fashanu's looking pretty nice. I mean, Elijah Vera Tucker is kind of good there, but Tyron Smith is honestly the really only old one here. I don't know why I said that, but on paper, it doesn't look bad here, but it's definitely not the best in real life. And defensively, looking into it, Jermaine Johnson is a free agent, but I think the Jets will re-sign him on like a 2-year contract or something. They did get Andre Sisco, and they got Brandon Stevens. As a Ravens fan, good luck with Brandon Stevens. He's total hit or miss. You got Chuck Clark as well from the Ravens, and you got CJ Mosley as well from the Ravens, but obviously those were from previous years. But this team, there's some holes to patch in it. They made some questionable decisions in the past, and of course, I'm not going to be re-signing Aaron Rodgers. I just didn't cut his contract yet, even though he's not going to be on this team. But looking into the players that it's negotiate, again, I just think they'll have Jermaine Johnson. He's not necessarily a free agent yet. I don't know why I said that. He's on his 5th-year option, so he will be a free agent next year is what I meant to say. But I do think they will probably accept his option or give him just a 2-year deal this offseason is what I was trying to say before. But Jermaine Johnson, do I accept the 5th year or do I just pay him? I kind of just want to pay him, so I'm going to ignore his option there. Tony Adams, I'm just going to ignore. Chuck Clark, I'm going to ignore, and all these other extras, I think I'm just going to let go too, along with Tyron Smith. Yeah, I'm just going to drop all these players, and then just, honestly, I'm going to skip out on free agency because I don't want to sign anyone that I'm like, you know, like teetering on, and then in real life I make this video, and then somebody else gets signed to a different team, then somebody in the comments points it out. But anyways, I'm just going to skip into the draft and just avoid free agency for now. Not a great start to the video, but you know what I'm trying to say. We are 5-12 here to enter the NFL draft, and I'm currently recording this on Tuesday, March 11th at 12 a.m. So if anything happens after that, I can't predict the future. This is just the roster I have for now. In the first round, I've seen a lot of mocks of this before. Mason Graham, defensive tackle out of Michigan, to the New York Jets, 6'3", 315, right-handed out of Michigan. I don't know why I needed to say right-handed, but either way, hidden development, 93 strength, skills across the board look pretty solid. A lot of people have him going there, or a lot of people will have Will Johnson, the Michigan defensive back, going as well, but I think they need to beef up that defensive line a little bit more. And then in round number 2, let's get a new weapon here to help out Justin Fields other than just Garrett Wilson. So we got Mason Taylor here, tight end out of LSU, 6'5", 253, hidden development, pretty solid athleticism across the board, A's and B's for his skill attributes. And then in the late 3rd round, picking up defensive back Melvin Smith Jr. here out of Southern Arkansas, normal development, but still he has decent athleticism here. Picked him because the B-man coverage, A catching, wasn't really a higher round, and I think with that, I'm just going to simulate the rest of the draft. Now, this is the team after the draft. Fashanu is going to be playing left tackle here, which is what he originally should be playing, but Tyron Smith was in that position for us. But anyways, for the rest of the team here, Simpson is not bad. I mean, on paper, we're a good offensive line, but there's a lot of injuries here and there, you know. But we got Mason Taylor as a starter, another weapon for Justin Fields. Breece Hall, Garrett Wilson need a new receiving core, so I guess I'll scout that for Scouting National Focus at the midseason mark. Got this guy Bentley here. I mean, we don't really have anything else at left outside linebacker, so Levante Bentley out of Colorado, why not just move him to left outside linebacker? He's going to start out there. Hopefully he can develop. Then we got Mason Graham as the 2 next to Quinnen Williams. I need a strong safety, which is something just that I completely slipped my mind. It is what it is. And then offensive Defensively, Aaron Rodgers, I'm just going to cut him from the team. I really don't think anyone's going to trade for this dude. I don't care if I take a cap penalty. Just get Aaron Rodgers off my team. I really don't think anyone's going to take Aaron Rodgers at all. Sure, he could be trade value somewhere. I think eventually they will just cut him. But anyways, 83 overall team. Let's see how Justin Fields does with this team. It's not the greatest, definitely not the worst for Justin Fields either. But again, it's the Jets. You never know. So let's move into the midseason mark. We are 4-3 at the midseason mark, coming off a crushing win to the Patriots. That's surprising here. 29th in offensive points per game. Defense is carrying us as we have the best defense in the NFL, as it is first in defensive points per game. 4-3, currently holding a 6th seed as the Bills are just greens and everything there. We're going to face them on Sunday night primetime. Scouting national focus, of course, it's going to be receiver. And for the players that it's negotiate, Breece Hall, young, superstar development, absolutely take all the money you want. $10 million a year, 5-year contract. He resigns. Elijah Vera Tucker, he's young, star development. Even if he does perform badly in simulation, which I haven't quite seen yet, I don't really care. I mean, it's $12 million a year. It's a good contract. He does sign on it. I thought he didn't accept it at first. And then Jermaine Johnson, I want to kind of pay him now. It kind of depends how he plays. I'm not going to give him $20 million a year before I see what he does. So I'm going to wait to see how he performs. Quincy Williams is getting older. I want to see how he plays as well. John Simpson, it depends how you play. And then all these other extras, I'm just not really interested in. I need new kicker and punter. These guys are both pushing 40 here. Will McDonald, depends how he plays on whether or not I accept this option. But anyways, let's move in to the playoffs. And we actually make the playoffs as we go 10-7 here as we secure a 6th seed behind the Buffalo Bills here. Our defense is what carried us. Second best defense in points per game and second best defense in terms of defensive passing game. But the offense wasn't so good other than our rushing game, averaging 102 rushing yards a game. Stats and awards, Justin Fields, not good. Bottom 10 really as a quarterback. 18th offense, 4th best defense in the NFL. 22 touchdowns to 8 interceptions. 93 pass rating isn't that good in Madden. In real life, it's not bad, but in Madden, you want a baseline of 100. Got sacked 40 times. That's quite a bit there. But yards here, 3,700 yards, 22 touchdowns to 8 interceptions. I'll let him cook. I'll give him another year. Of course, I'm not going to just immediately throw him out. He's on a 2-year contract for a reason. We'll see what he can do. Breece Hall really carried the offense, though. No fumbles, 13 touchdowns, 1,100 yards, 4.6 average. Justin Fields, almost 500 rushing yards, 3 touchdowns, but 2 fumbles. And then we got Malachi Corley, 1,100 yards, 8 touchdowns. That's just the power of the slot position. It doesn't matter who you put there. They're just going to be a baller. Then Garrett Wilson, 1,000 yards, 2 touchdowns. Mason Taylor, 600 yards, no touchdowns. Alan Lazard, 600 yards, 10 touchdowns. I think I might switch into the Kansas City playbook to target our tight end more because that's something we should get involved more. No way Malachi Corley should be getting this many targets. Sacks allowed here. John Simpson, I'm so glad I didn't give you a contract. You did not do well. 10 sacks allowed. Carter Warren allows 9 as a left tackle. I mean, he was only a 69 overall, so that's a lot better than I thought. Joe Tittman allows 9. Fashanu allows 6. Elijah Vera Tucker allows 4. I'm glad I gave him his contract. Quincy Williams, 104 tackles. Tackles for a loss, 17 for Quinton Williams, not 9. 12 for Mason Graham, 10 for Will McDonald, 10 for Jermaine Johnson. Sacks, 14.5 for Quinton Williams, 12.5 for Jermaine Johnson. Want to give him a contract. And then Mason Graham and Will McDonald both with 7 interceptions here. 2 for Quincy Williams and a handful of others. Deflections here, 9 for Quincy Williams, 6 for Brandon Stevens, 5 for Sauce Gardner, and then safeties on the team, 0 defensive touchdowns is 1 for Sauce Gardner and 1 for Rashad Wilson. I don't know who that is. But can we beat the 10-7 Kansas City Chiefs to give Justin Fields his first ever playoff win here? And the answer is no. 35-14, getting crushed. Who would have thought? Let's move into the offseason. And the Eagles crushed the Bills in the Super Bowl as the Bills are now 0-5 in Super Bowls. Jalen Hurts wins the Super Bowl MVP. Joe Burrow wins the league MVP, and there are no awards here for the Jets. In the AFC East, Thomas Morstead, CJ Mosley, Greg the Leg, Teron Armstead, and Daquan Jones all retire. For the team upgrades, offensively, we look exactly the same. Mason Taylor comes with star development, though. That's the only thing to point out. Defensively, any other upgrades? Mason Graham comes with star development. Bentley comes with star development. And Brandon Stevens goes to superstar. I don't know why he does, but sure. I mean, you would think that Jermaine Johnson would get superstar for having, 12.5 sacks. He had a much better year, but either way, we got some holes to fill. I need a safety, maybe another corner here because Brandon Stevens and Michael Carter aren't really going to cut it long term. And I need a strong safety. I need a middle linebacker. I need another outside linebacker. I need a new offensive line, really, other than Elijah Vera Tucker and Fashanu. And then I need new receivers. There's a lot to do here. For the re-signings, Jermaine Johnson has a huge interest in staying here, and I want him to stay for the rest of the rebuild, so he re-signs, even though he's about to start regression at the age of 28. Will McDonald, he's about to be 28 whenever I give him his first first contract. No, he'll be 29 because of the 5th-year option. That's ridiculous. Way too old for a rookie. As Quincy Williams, I want him back. He had a really good year for us. I'll do very player friendly, but I'm not doing 20 million. I'm gonna be real. I'll do 20 million for 1 year, but that's it. Yeah, I'm cool with that. Not doing more than that. For some reason, outside linebackers who are coverage linebackers, for some reason, think they're edge rushers. John Simpson allowed 10 sacks. I'm not going to re-sign him. All these other extras I don't want. In free agency here, don't need James Cook. Nick Bitonio isn't bad, but I have Will McDonald and Jermaine Johnson. Nick Bitonio doesn't even want to be here. Don't want Tyron Smith back. Terrell Bernard got a contract in real life. Again, I can't fix the contracts in my roster. It just is what it is. Just try to keep it realistic as I can. Romeo Dobbs, I don't want to keep bringing Packers players to the Jets. It's stupid, and he doesn't even want to play here. Don't want John Simpson back. I'll draft a new kicker and a new punter. I don't like anything here other than Dax Hill, actually. I like that. After free agency, I got Dax Hill. He had full interest with us before. I don't know what's up with that. Every time I sign the players, they're just no longer interested. But either way, I'm probably going to put him as the number 2. And then Nakobe Dean on a long-term contract. He's young. Even though he has normal development, he needs to be in that position. Then we're filling a 1-year position here at right tackle for Andrew Wiley here. Then we're bringing Jordan Whitehead back to the Jets just for a 1-year temporary Band-Aid player. In the draft, we have pick number 20. There's a top 5 QB, projected QB on the board. Obviously, he's not top 5 talent if he's still here at 20. But what do we want at this position? A strong safety off the rip looks good. Dave Mayweather out of Wisconsin, 6'2", 223 here. Solid speed, strength, acceleration. Doesn't look anything crazy, but he's very balanced, so that's a big highlight to him. A defensive tackle, another strong safety in Dion Ridley here at LSU. Good speed, good jumping, good acceleration, more athletic, but just as balanced as the other guy. He may be the pick, but I want to look at receiver here and see what we have for Gilbert Tolbert here. What a name, Gilbert Tolbert. Okay, that's interesting. Anyways, 6'3", 216 out of Louisville. Elite strength, elite jumping, solid speed, solid acceleration, around a 4.52. A catch in traffic, B catching, B release, B short route, B spec catch. This is going to be the guy that I want, so I'm going to pick him here as he's ranked 21, got him at 20, hidden development, 89 speed, 90 acceleration. He will be the wide receiver 2. In round number 2, Dion Ridley is still here. There's a bunch of strong safeties. This is good value. I really like this. Dion Ridley's here, a bunch of with the other strong safeties. Let's sort them by the physicals. Quickly look at that. Good speed from these guys. This guy looks all right. I mean, this guy, let's look at Dante Null out of Arizona State, almost 200 pounds here, more athletic, not as balanced as the other guys. I'm wondering why Dion Ridley fell, though. I was considering taking him there at 20. I'm sure he's going to have normal development. I'm going to pull the trigger anyways. He's very balanced. I need a strong safety. Ranked 29, got him at 52. Normal development, that's what I expected, but he's still not bad value. And apparently, I don't have a 3rd-round pick, which really sucks for trying to build up my offensive line because I wanted to use my 3rd-round pick on a left guard or like a new center or something. That doesn't seem to work. Actually, Larry McCantis here doesn't look that bad. A McCants out of Texas Tech. Actually, this looks pretty good for a day 3 pick. Yeah, I'm going to take this guy. Let's see if we can move him to left guard. Ranked 96, got him at 116. Hidden development. That was a W pick in the 4th round. I'm going to move him to left guard. And then in the 5th round, maybe try and sneak in a defensive tackle. If you guys are new to the channel, I love my depth at the defensive tackles, especially whenever you go and sort by strength. Great strength for this guy. Let's see what he has out of Florida. 6'5", 304. Great strength, great speed. Sure, as a 4th round pick, why not just take him just because of physicals? Doesn't look good at all, but it doesn't really matter. It's a 5th round pick. And then with my 6th round pick, I'm picking up kicker Hunter Cook here, ranked 77, got him at 173. Hidden development kicker out of Georgia, 92 kick power, B kick accuracy, B awareness, yada, yada, yada. And then I'm picking up my punter here, ranked 178, got him at 180, normal development, but he also has 92 kick power. After the draft, Gilbert Tolbert here, 75 overall, 74 for Dion Ridley, but normal development, 71 for Larry here in the 4th round, but I'm going to move him to left guard. He has hidden development, 65 for Paul, not a good pick, but the kicker was a 71, the punter was a 67, and then the AI picked up this middle linebacker. Now, this is the team moving into year number 2 here with Justin Fields. He's got to prove it this year. If he doesn't do well this year, then I might move on. He's got to show me something rather than being 20th in passing touchdowns and 20th in pass rating. Tolbert is at the number 2, probably going to be in the slot as well. And then we also have McCants there from center to left guard. W pick, offensive line on paper doesn't look bad at all. 85 overall team defensively. Murray here, I forgot. I guess this guy has hidden development. The 7th round pick that the AI picked up. Of course, he picks up a hidden development in the 7th round. Dion Ridley, we're going to move above Jordan Whitehead. Hopefully he gets defensive rookie of the year or something like that. Dax Hill is going to play the number 2. Everything else looks pretty good. Specialist wise, wise, like all of that. Tolbert, let's put in the slot over Lazard, and every one of those looks pretty good to me. So anyways, guys, apart from that, time to move into year number 2 with Justin Fields and see what he can cook up. We are 4-3 coming off a blowout win to the Bills and the Dolphins, which is awesome to see. Offense is 11th in points per game. Defense is 3rd in points per game. That's great. Scouting national focus here. Quarterback is a strength of class. I don't want to do QB because I want to be hopeful of Justin Fields here, but do I really need anything else? I mean, I could do outside linebacker. Let's just do middle linebacker and then convert them to outside linebacker to replace Quincy Williams because of his age. Then we also have a halfback breakout challenge here. Obviously, that's for Breece Hall. Game day challenge, get Breece Hall 150 rushing yards to increase his development trait. So let's see if we can do that and beat the 3-3 Baltimore Ravens. We're going to lose to the Ravens here 24-17, but let's see if he did get those 150 rushing yards. That would be sick. And no development upgrade for Breece Hall. He still has superstar development. Unfortunate for him. But for the players we get to negotiate, Sauce Gardner, take all the money you want, $26 million a year for 5 years. He resigns on the team. Garrett Wilson wants the team to have a franchise QB. That could change at the end of this year, so I'm going to wait on that just in case. And then Joe Tippmann, it just depends how you play. You allowed 9 sacks last year. Brandon Stevens, I'm honestly just not huge on. He's just going to keep progressing. Justin Fields, depends how you play. Andre Sisco, depends how you play. Quincy Williams, depends how you play, honestly. I don't really like any of those guys, if I'm being honest, off the rip. Andrew Wiley, depends how you play. And then Fashanu, I'll accept your option. You've been playing great so far. Anyways, apart from that, let's move into the playoffs to see if we can even make them. We finished 7-10. Offensive passing game, 28th. I wonder who it could be from. And just keep in mind, look at our defense. All in the greens. Defense is carrying. Offensive rushing game is doing great. It's 7th. And then offensive points per game is 15th, just because our rushing game is great and our passing game is atrocious. Stats and awards. Justin Field, you had your chance, dude. You're like a bottom 5 QB. That's awful. 16th best offense, 14th best defense here. 3,600 yards, 27 touchdowns, 13 receptions, 97 pass rating. In real life isn't bad, but in Madden, it's not good. He's 28th in passing yards, 25th in passing touchdowns, 21st in passer rating. He's bottom 5 in passing yards, dude. I can't do anything about him. Sure, his rushing yards, he has 6 rushing touchdowns, yada, yada, yada. I gave him 2 years to develop. I really tried with him. If he's not going to develop, I can't do anything about that. He's literally the only thing holding back my team right now. My defense is performing. My rushing game is performing. My passing offense is not doing good enough. So I'm sorry, Justin Fields. We're going to have to move on from you, buddy. It's just, again, I said he wasn't going to do good in Madden simulation. He's really not that good in real life for being a first-round pick, but there's still believers out there. Keep believing. But Breece Hall here, 1 fumble, 14 touchdowns, 4.9 per carry, 1,200 yards. Great year from him. Should have given him the ball more, honestly. And then Gilbert Tolbert here with 1,000 yards, 13 touchdowns. What a name still. Garrett Wilson, only 1 touchdown, almost 800 yards. Fantasy owners are pissed probably. Mason Taylor, 700 yards, 1 touchdown. His first touchdown of his entire career, 1 touchdown. Last year he had none. Then Malachi Corley, 5 touchdowns. Sacks allowed here for Fashanu. What the hell happened, dude? 15 sacks allowed. I'm still going to accept his option, but it's like, that's bad. And then Wiley didn't do great, but he was just a Band-Aid player. And then Larry, our rookie, did good. Joe Tippmann gets a contract re-signing. Elijah Vera Tucker continuing to do well. Quincy Williams, 132 tackles, 7 tackles for a loss, 2 sacks, 3 interceptions. I want to re-sign him again, but I feel like Nakobe Dean can also put up a good season as well. It just depends who you put at sub-linebacker, but we're going to see. Tackles for a loss, 12 for Will McDonald here, and Quinn Williams, 10 for Mason Graham, 8 for Jermaine Johnson. Sacks, 14 for Will McDonald, his breakout year, 9.5 for Jermaine Johnson, 7.5 for Quinn Williams. Interceptions, 4 for Sauce Gardner. Deflections, 10 for Brandon Stevens. I still don't want to re-sign him. He had no interceptions, and then 3 tackles for a loss, but 5 deflections for Sauce Gardner and 5 for Quincy Williams. Safeties on the team, 0 defensive touchdowns is 1 for Sauce Gardner and Andre Sisco. And the Bills are 0-6 in Super Bowls as the Dallas Cowboys win the Super Bowl. The Dallas Cowboys won't win a Super Bowl within the next decade, or maybe even 2 decades, as long as Jerry Jones is alive. But Super Bowl MVP, Dak Prescott, something Cowboys fans will never hear in real life. Patrick Mahomes wins the NFL MVP and the Offensive Player of the Year. Gilbert Tolbert wins the Offensive Rookie of the Year. In the AFC East, Brian Anger retires on the Bills. For the team upgrades offensively, really, Tolbert, he came with hidden development, and he doesn't get Superstar for being Rookie of the Year. That's surprising. Kansas here, McCantis has star development. That's fine with me. No other upgrades on the offense. No actual upgrades at all. Nakobe Dean's still not getting an upgrade. Ridley didn't get an upgrade. And I don't see any actual upgrades. Will McDonald had 14 sacks, and he doesn't get an upgrade, which is super lame. Specialist-wise, well, actually, special teams. What did my kicker have? My kicker came with star development. That's cool with me. For the players we get to negotiate. Even though Fashanu just allowed 15 sacks, he's young, he has superstar development. We're going to keep giving him chances because obviously I don't have to pay him right now. But Garrett Wilson, you're right, we don't have a franchise QB. Just take all the money you want, and he resigns back with the team. And then Joe Tippmann just only allowed 4 sacks this season. He's going to get an extension, 4 years, $10 million a year. And then Brandon Stevens can walk, Justin Fields can walk. Why do you suddenly not want to play on the team? You want to be in the Super Bowl chase. The reason why you don't want to be on the team is because you want to be in the Super Bowl chase. It's almost as if you are the problem why we can't win any games, Justin Fields. My God, dude. Andre Sisco, I mean, I don't mind him, but do I really want to pay for this guy? I mean, I feel like I can just find someone better in free agency. No hate to Andre Sisco. He's not a bad player. I just don't think he's going to be stellar. He's about to hit 28, which is whenever regression starts in Madden. Obviously, in real life, that's still young. But still, Quincy Williams here, I like him, but do I pay him another $20 million? No, he doesn't want that much this time. Let's do very player-friendly, 1 year, $15 million this time, and he wants to play for a new team. How much does it take to tag him? $22 million? I'm not going to do that. Everyone else here can walk. I need some linebackers. I need a right tackle. I need a QB. I need a lot of things. In free agency, Hayden Hutchinson is here. He doesn't want to play for the team, so I doubt I can get it. But Kyle Hamilton, I usually never get Kyle Hamilton in my rebuilds. He usually never wants to play for my team. I would love to have Kyle Hamilton on my team. Tyler Linderbaum doesn't want to be here. Frank Ragnow does, but I don't need a center. Then Marlon Humphrey, I wouldn't mind, but he low-key doesn't want to be here either. I need a right tackle, if anything. And in typical Jets fashion, I stole 2 Ravens players from them. We get Kyle Hamilton and Trent Simpson, both on extensive year contracts. After free agency, this is what the team is looking like going into the draft. I need a right tackle. I wouldn't mind a third receiver. Malachi Corley's not doing bad, but still, obviously, I need a quarterback. That's going to be top priority. And then I moved Ridley to free safety. Kyle Hamilton's playing strong safety. Got Trent Simpson on the outside. And then I don't really mind Bentley, but I need definitely a better than a 65 overall guy. Would like depth at defensive tackle, but obviously we have more things to prioritize. Would like depth at corner, but more things to prioritize as well. It's pretty underwhelming how Jermaine Johnson and Will McDonald have both been having great seasons, but the AI is just like, nah, no superstar development for those guys. But either way, let's go draft a new quarterback. And we have pick number 12 in the draft. Not ideal, but we're going to see who's on the board here, and should I trade up for a QB is the question. The QB class does look pretty nice, I'm not gonna lie, so I don't want to waste your guys' time. I'm gonna look through these and see which one I want the best. So out of these guys I'm looking at, Peyton Doyle does not look like a top 5 pick, but Niles Daniels out of Cincinnati does look like a top 5 pick here for sure. He looks really good. If it's worth trading up for him, I don't want to go to number 1 for him. He doesn't seem bad. Mitchell Christine here, I don't really know. Either way, he is not the best from what I've seen. Braden Adams doesn't look bad, but he's more of a developmental player. He's going to be a low overall with the C awareness. But Jaleel McKinney looks like the best value for me that I can start right away and for him to make an impact. But I would like Niles Daniels the best out of Cincinnati. But we'll see how the board falls. The Raiders and the Giants and the Falcons all pick. Let's see what they pick, as the right tackle goes first for the Raiders, and then the Giants are going to pick a defensive end. I doubt the Falcons pick QB because usually Michael Penix develops pretty well here in simulation, and they don't go QB. Same thing with J.J. McCarthy, and then same thing with Bo Nix. So let me see if the Cardinals are willing to go with QB. I don't really think they are. I kind of want to trade up for Niles right here. I don't think they're going to willingly go QB, so I'm going to simulate one more pick, and it's going to be Doyle. It's going to be Peyton Doyle. I'm going to trade up with the Titans now. The Titans desperately need QB, as they have Quinn Ewers as their QB. That's funny. And that actually goes through. I didn't expect that to go through. I'm swapping pick 12 for pick 7. I'm also giving up my 3rd, my 5th from this year, so it's still good value that I need down the board, but I desperately need this QB, and thank God the Cardinals picked Peyton Doyle over Niles here, because Doyle does not look nearly good as Niles Daniels out of Cincinnati. 6'1", 230 here, elite throw power, not extremely athletic, but A awareness, his accuracies have A across the board as well. Niles Daniels will be our franchise pick. Ranked 31, got him at 7, not what I wanted to see, but hidden development completely makes up for it. 77 speed, 82 acceleration, 94 throw power. He will be our franchise guy. And then in round 2, Mitchell Christine here did fall, so I was right about him not being all that. And then Braden Adams here, he fell as well into the early 2nd round, so I'm glad I didn't reach up for him either. And then the other guy that I did like, not the Niles guy, but the guy below him, he left the board, so that was the guy that was ready to be plug and play. He already got picked, so he seemed like a good option as well. But is there any good right tackles on the board in pick 12? Yeah, all post UDFA. Wow, thanks. Anyways, left tackles here. Damon Chaney here doesn't seem that bad, actually, out of Oklahoma. 6'6", 3 A's across the board. Great speed, speed, decent acceleration, solid strength. He seems really good at pass blocking, and he is a pass protector. So I'm going to pick him, move him to right tackle, as he will be ranked 64, got him at 44. Normal development, that sucks, but it is what it is. And then, of course, we don't have a 3rd or a 5th round pick, so I'm going to pick a receiver here in the 4th round, and then I'm probably just going to simulate to the end of the draft. Let's see who we have here in the 4th round for the receivers. A bunch of them have a bunch of Fs. I don't really like any of these guys. This guy doesn't seem that bad. Brian Burks here out of Missouri, 6 foot 226 here, decent speed, good strength, poor acceleration, a spec cash. This guy just doesn't look good. I'm not going to force a pick if I don't like it. But this guy, Javier Watson out of Boise State here, 6'2", 236, skipped the combine because he's a baller. Good speed, good strength, good acceleration, A awareness, A's and B's across the board, A hit power as well for a 4th round pick. Doesn't seem bad. Ranked 15 in the class, got him at 108. It was a steal. I'm going to move him to left outside linebacker. After the draft, Niles Daniels is a 74, 73 for Damon Shanny, 75 for Watson here, and then the AI picked those last 2 guys. I want to see what happened to the other QBs and how good they were. But for the pick number 7 in the draft, Peyton Doyle, he was a 73, hidden development, so I picked the higher overall guy by 1 overall. Peyton Doyle here has, what development trait? Star development, so I wasn't wrong about him, but I also wasn't right about him. He seems like a decent player. And then Mitchell Christensen here, he was picked in the 2nd round, hidden development. Okay, I thought he was going to be a lot worse than that. Let's see what he has for his traits. He's going to be... Never mind. I was completely wrong about that Christian guy as he gets stolen in the 2nd round. Who knows? Maybe I have X Factor. I'm just kidding. I'm definitely coping as Braden Adams here. What about him? He was going to be more of a developmental guy, which I was right. He's a lower overall. He has hidden development. I want to see what he has, though, for his player traits. Just star. And then finally, the guy that I thought was plug and play went to the Titans at pick number 7 in the 2nd round. Yeah, he was plug and play. He didn't have the development, but he definitely has the skills. Look at that. All greens right there. 96 throw power. Starts off as a 76 overall without the boost. Only normal development, so again, he was just a plug and play guy. So generally, I got that right, other than the Mitchell guy. Now, this is the team after the draft. Malachi Corley is still going to be our receiver 3. Offensive line looks solid on paper, but, you know, it's up to the tackles to actually do well. Mason Taylor's there. We got Daniels, Breece Hall, obviously. Hopefully, Daniels does develop pretty quickly because we're already in year 3 of this rebuild. We got Ridley on the outside, Kyle Hamilton there. All of our favorite Ravens players on the team, of course. We are the New York Ravens or the Baltimore Jets, either way. But 87 overall team. Let's see how Niles Daniels does and move into the midseason mark for year number 3. We are 4-2 at the midseason mark. Best record yet from us. 7th best offensive points per game, but 29th in passing yards. Yikes. 6th in rushing games, 11th in defensive points per game, but 3rd in defensive passing game and 9th in defensive rushing game. Weekly awards coming off a loss to the Jaguars. Will McDonald, 6 tackles, 2 sacks there as we allowed, how many points? 26-23 against the Jaguars. Close loss. For the scouting national focus, do I want corner? I kind of still want receiver low-key, so let's just keep going back to receiver here. For the re-signings, Quinnen Williams, absolutely player-friendly deal, and he will re-sign for $40 million a year. I didn't see that until after I signed it. Will McDonald's been great for us. He's 28 after getting his first contract, and he won't get this contract until the next season, so he'll be 29 after receiving his first paycheck not being in his rookie season. He wants to be in a Super Bowl chase. We could change that this year by making the playoffs, but that's ridiculous. These older players, people are like, oh, these older player prospects are so good. They're not good, dude. They were grown men playing against teenagers in college. But either way, no diss to Will McDonald there. I'm just saying the old extension rule due to COVID was kind of lame. I understand the point of it, but still. Malachi Corley, I feel like I can just easily replace him. And then Braylon Allen, I wouldn't mind back, but he doesn't want to be here. Michael Carter doesn't want to be here. And then all these other extras I just don't really want. So I'm going to move on from those guys. Mason Graham, I'm going to accept his 5th-year option if I have to play a 5th year on this team. But anyways, let's move into the playoffs. Here we go again, dude. 91 overall team, and I go 7-10 bottom of the division. This, oh my gosh, my offensive passing game is 26th. It's bad. It doesn't matter who I have. It's the Jets curse of whatever QB comes on my team. They're just going to be garbage no matter what. And nobody ranks in the top 3 for any of those stats. It's just bad, dude. It's just really bad. Stats and awards, really bad year for Niles Daniels. 23rd offense in the NFL, 25th defense. Just bad on both sides. 30 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, 100 pass rating. It's better. It's much better than Justin Fields, not in terms of yards, but more touchdowns. I would say, what, did he have the same or less amount of interceptions? I don't even know. Better pass rating overall, got sacked a little bit less there as Breece Hall, 1,300 yards, 12 touchdowns, touchdowns, 1 fumble. Niles Daniels, 2 touchdowns, 320 yards. Garrett Wilson, almost 1,000 yards, 11 touchdowns. Gilbert here with 950 yards, 4 touchdowns. Malachi with 700 yards, 7 touchdowns. Mason Taylor, 400 yards and 5 touchdowns. Sacks on the team, 9 for Larry McCants here, 8 for Damon Chaney, the rookie. Honestly, not bad for a rookie. He's a 75 overall. Fashanu allows 7, so he bounced back. 7 for Elijah Vera Tucker, and then 3 for Joe Tippmann. Tackles on the team, 114 for Nakobe Dean. Tackles for a loss, 11 for Quinnen Williams, 10 for Mason Graham, 7 for Jermaine Johnson. Sacks, 9 for Will McDonald, 8.5 for Mason Graham, 8 for Jermaine Johnson. Interceptions, 3 for Nakobe Dean, 3 for Michael Carter here. And then safeties, not safeties, deflections on the team, 7 for Nakobe Dean, 6 for Sauce Gardner, 5 for Michael Carter. Safeties on the team, 0 defensive touchdowns is 0. The Bills finally win their first ever Super Bowl, but the Vikings are now 0-5 in the Super Bowl. Teron Johnson wins the Super Bowl MVP. Joe Burrow wins the league MVP. Niles Daniels somehow wins the Offensive Rookie of the Year. I'll take it, I guess. In the AFC East, Amari Cooper retires with the Bills. For the team upgrades, Niles Daniels here has superstar development. Did he come with it or did he earn it? He earned it, so only came with star development. I was about to say stupid star development, but that'd be quite stupid of me. Haha, so funny. But anyways, we're gonna do comeback. No, we're not doing that. Spin cycle, tight out, sure, why not? Also, I just noticed he's wearing the number 19. That's egregious for a quarterback, but I guess we'll just deal with it here. No other upgrades on the team. Defensively, though, any actual upgrades that I can see? None that I can see, which really sucks. Again, like nobody's progressing on my team, I feel. Even though I have a 91 overall team and I'm still 7-10. There is no way I just did that. I accidentally just simulated to the draft, dude. You have to be kidding me. Who did I just lose? I know I just lost my entire lineup. Did I just lose Will McDonald too? He definitely got signed to another team. Offensively, I really didn't lose anyone of value. I'm fine with that. Defensively, I lost to Will McDonald. Okay, I'm so stupid. I mean, he was already 29, but he was still producing decent numbers for me. I was going to re-sign him. That's so dumb of me. Now I need to worry about getting an edge rusher, and I need a corner, and I need a receiver 3. God, I just made things so much harder for myself. I completely skipped free agency like a moron. I thought I was simulating to the next week. That's completely my fault. So in the draft, we have pick number 9. I'm not trading up again. I'm going to draft a edge rusher to replace Will McDonald. Hopefully it works out for the better for us. Sean Ferguson, how convenient. Top 5 pick that falls to number 9. 6'3", 270 almost out of North Carolina. Good speed, great strength, great acceleration here. A pursuit doesn't look the best, if I'm being honest. Is there someone that looks better? Jeff Brockers here out of Florida State, 6'3", 250, more of an edge rusher, great strength, decent speed, poor acceleration. I'm backing out immediately on that. And then finally, let's look at this guy, Dalton Payton here out of Louisville, 6'4", 252 edge rusher, skipped the combine, great speed, great strength, great acceleration, looks much better than the other prospects. F zone coverage because he's an edge rusher, A pursuit, B hit power, B tackle. I'm taking Dalton Payton over the top 5 guy. I like him better. Rank 39, got him at 9. Normal development, of course. I just picked the wrong one. In round number 2, picking up a wide receiver, Cam Hemsley here, ranked 41, got him at 41. Of course, he has normal development. He's going to be my slot player. I just messed up so bad in this offseason, but it is what it is. You know, I may have to play a 5th season to see how it works out because, of course, the rebuild does not end until I win a Super Bowl. I'm not just going to chicken out and be like, oh, well, I can't win. We're gonna go as long as it takes. Sean Powell, defensive back out of Fresno State here, 6'1", 200 pounds here. Good speed, good strength, elite acceleration, great jumping, A awareness, A tackle, A zone coverage. I'm going to pick up Sean Powell here in the 3rd round. Ranked number 6 in the class. Got him at 73. Hidden development, finally a hit. After the draft, Dalton Payton is a 74 for Cam Hemsley as well. 2 good players, just normal development. 77 for Sean Powell was the best pick. 67 for this guy. Stopped drafting after that. Anyways, I want to see the other edge rushers that got drafted and I just completely missed out on. Sean Ferguson, the top 5 guy that I passed on here, has normal development, so I was right on him. The next guy, Jeff Brockers, that I looked at, though, I was wrong about him. He's a 71, though, so my guy was a higher overall, even though that guy had a hidden development. Hidden developments are completely random. You can draft a 99 overall player in the draft, which isn't possible, but if you did, they could still have normal development. They're just completely randomized. It's kind of stupid. Don Fells doesn't look good either, so I was right about all the guys that I passed on. Even the guy I picked didn't seem like the best option. He was one of the higher overall players there. He just had normal development, just, I guess, a crummy edge class for me. Now, this is the team after the draft. The AI picked up Thompson, who is a hidden development tight end, so he's going to play as our fullback, I guess. Then we got Hemsley in the slot. O-line looking pretty good, and for the schemes here, I'm going to change it up because we need to change something here. A lot of people say air raid with the Kansas City playbook puts up a lot of numbers for your receivers and especially your tight end because that's where it targets targets the most there. So we're going to do that. I usually want to do the Dallas playbook, especially with Breece Hall, because Breece Hall is not going to get many touches now. We're going to be mainly a passing team. But I want to try and develop my superstar quarterback, and especially with Mason Taylor, want to get him more involved as well in our offense. Defensively, though, this is what we got. It doesn't look the best. We got some highlight players here. Powell is a nice addition. Peyton, hopefully he develops to be as good as Will McDonald at least, and then I won't have to pay him, but still, I have a lot of cap room as well. Ridley, we're going to see how he pans out. He still hasn't been doing great, if I'm being honest. Could replace him. 89 overall team without the morale boost. Still not a bad team. I just need my QB to actually perform and not get the Jets curse. That would be pretty cool. Specialist-wise, let's do not Hensley. I know if you put the receiver 1 in the slot and at number 2, if you put him in the slot and at the number 1 position, they're going to get crazy stats. I don't want to be unrealistic and just have them blow out the stat sheet and just be cheesy the entire time. Let's put the guy who's supposed to be in the slot position, please. And then everyone else here seems pretty good. Why is Trent Simpson coming off the edge? That may be a big factor. Why is Trent? We're not doing that. Anyways, I got that fixed. Here we are in week 1. Let's see how we do at the midseason mark, because I may need to play a 5th year, but this is year number 4. 2 and 5, my favorite. Let's go. 9th in passing yards. Good stuff. Rushing yards obviously isn't as good, but our points per game for offense is 25th. Our defense is carrying. Our defense is allowing 23 points per game, which is 7th in the league, but our offense is only scoring on average 22 points a game, which is 25th in the league. We have a 91 overall team. I can guarantee you I have the highest overall team in the game, and we will continue to suck because EA says so. Anyways, scouting national focus. I always just like depth at defensive tackle. I really don't need anything else other than my quarterback to do well. Players ready to negotiate. Fashanu, he's been doing great for us. He's a franchise left tackle. I'll just give him all the money he wants. He stays. Mason Graham. Oh, dude, I have to negotiate with him? I didn't accept his 5th year option because I skipped last year. Oh my gosh. That blows. That completely blows. We're going to see how we do, though. Ugh, man, that really, really sucks. Mason Graham, he wants to have a mentor at his position. I can fix that. Now we're going to be signing BJ Hill because he has the mentor tag here for Mason Graham for my 5th year. Now Mason Graham suddenly has interest with the team. We'll do player friendly. I didn't do $28 million a year. What do these defensive tackles want so badly? Anyways, Mason Taylor, I'm going to have to probably tag, but let's see how we do and see if we can make the playoffs. I mean, the offense just needs to step up. It's been the offense the entire rebuild. Defense is doing good. 32nd in defensive rushing game. Never mind. What are you doing? What happened? Just because I lose Will McDonald doesn't mean my entire D-line should just go to crap. I mean, I still have Mason Graham, and I have superstar X Factor Quinnen Williams. Why does it do that? That's so stupid. Anyways, let's see if we can somehow make the playoff. And we actually make the playoffs, finishing 10 and 7 here. I mean, we should be 13 and 4 with my 92 overall team. Here to face the 11 and 6 Pittsburgh Steelers. They're an 89 overall team, but we're coming off a win to the Patriots and a 12-7 loss to the Titans. Just shows you how terrible my offense is whenever they just put up 37 points against the Patriots. 9th best offense in the NFL, best defense in the NFL. Finally, we are balancing out, and my defensive rushing game completely stepped up. That's what I'm talking about. Stats and awards here. Niles Daniels looks great in that passing scheme. 7th best offense in the NFL. 7th best defense as well. 4,400 yards, 37 touchdowns, too many interceptions, but still 107 passer and got sacked 43 times. Yikes. Breece Hall here, 2 fumbles, 12 touchdowns at 4.7 per carry, 1,100 yards. Niles Daniels, only 2 rushing touchdowns here. And then Garrett Wilson, 1,100 yards, 12 touchdowns. Cam Hemsley here, the rookie, 1,100 yards, 11 touchdowns. And then Mason Taylor, 1,000 touchdowns, 5 touchdowns. And then Gilbert Tolbert here with 800 yards, 6 touchdowns. This is exactly how I wanted my receiving core to be involved. And even so, even though I'm in a primarily a passing scheme, literally last year, Breece Hall also had exactly 249 attempts in the Cowboys playbook, which is supposed to be balanced. So Breece Hall still got reps there, even though we're in a passing scheme now. And then Fashanu, I shouldn't have given him that contract. He is terrible now. 17 sacks allowed. Elijah Vera Tucker goes from allowing 2 sacks last year to now allowing 11. Chaney allows 9. Tippmann allows 3. And McCants allows, oh my gosh, 3. Wow, that is a huge 180 for the team. But Nakobe Dean, 101 tackles for a loss, 13 for Mason Graham, 11 for Quinnen Williams, 11 for Dalton Payton, 9 for Nakobe Dean and Jermaine Johnson. Sacks, 10.5 for Quinnen Williams, 9.5 for Jermaine Johnson, 8.5 for Dalton Payton. Honestly, not a bad rookie year. 11.5 tackles for a loss, and then 8 sacks for Mason Graham. Interceptions, 3 for Sean Powell, the rookie, 3 for Daxell and Sauce Gardner. Deflections, 11 for Nakobe Dean, 6 for Kyle Hamilton, and 5 for Sam Powell. The rookie's doing really good. Really nice steal in the 4th round. Safeties, 0 defensive touchdowns is one for Nakobe Dean. Can we beat the Pittsburgh Steelers? But beforehand, I want to see who their QB is. I'm always just curious. Their QB is Jackson Dart. Of course it is. I'm pretty sure I just did a Steelers rebuild literally yesterday where I did a Jackson Dart rebuild. He actually worked out pretty well with the Steelers. But can we beat the Jackson Dart Steelers to move on to the conference championship here? Not the conference championship, the divisional round. We do 21-13. Our defense and offense did well there, mainly the defense. Here to face the 15-2 Kansas City Chiefs. I gotta hop into this one. They're 15-2. They're in 90 overall. They're going to be a baller team, of course, because they're the Chiefs. Let's see if we can beat them to move on to the conference championship. Here we are against the Chiefs. They're going to open up with a punt. We're going to respond with 7. Nice start for the team. They're going to punt again. They're going to punt again. That's 3-10 here against the Chiefs. 10-6. Offense is doing decent. Defense is doing even better. 24-6. Offense stepping it up now. 24-13. Defense is letting go. What are you doing? 31-19. 31-26. Just hold the ball. Thank you. Defense kind of let go there, but offense did step up. 31-26 as we will be moving on to the conference championship. Here we are to face the 11-6 Indianapolis Colts. It's ridiculous that they're 11-6 and they're an 86 overall team. I'm 10-7 and I'm a 92 overall. Make that make sense. Why am I not the better team? And of course, their quarterback is still Anthony Richardson here. Superstar development. He's fully developed here for the Colts. But can we beat the Indianapolis Colts to move on to the Super Bowl? Here we are against the Colts. They're going to open up with nothing. We're going to respond with 7. Nice start for the team. Still a 7-0 game. We have the ball. We punted there and made it 14-0. Defense holding strong. 14-7, 21-7 at halftime. Opening up half with another 7. 28-7, 28-10 here as we're just pouring it on them. 28-17. They're kind of coming back there. 35-17. Offense really did their job. Defense kind of let go there, but it doesn't matter. Offense really stepped up. 35-24 here. Another 4-touchdown game for Niles Daniels. Here we are in the Super Bowl, here to face the 8-9 Giants. This is what I'm talking about. The Battle of New York, actually the Battle of New Jersey, because they both share the same stadium in New Jersey. Why would you ever name them that? Marketing reasons, but still 8-9 Giants make the Super Bowl. I've been fighting for this the entire time. Who is the Giants QB for them to be 8-9 and in the Super Bowl? Should be illegal to be a losing team and be in the Super Bowl. Cam Ward is on the Giants. Looks like Shador Sanders may have got picked over him or the Titans passed on him, but Cam Ward is the Giants quarterback. Normal development. For the team upgrades, Mason Taylor goes to superstar development. Hemsley goes to star development, so that was a solid pick still. Anything else? No. 92 overall team. Defensively, Watson and Nakobe Dean both go to star development. Powell comes with star development, and Dalton Payton here comes with superstar development, and I don't have to pay him. So even though I did miss out on re-signing Will McDonald, doesn't matter, works all out for the better, and he's also already a higher overall than Will McDonald with the boost, so I'm completely cool with that. And of course, he's not going to regress. Doesn't really matter though, it's the 4th and final year. But let's see if we can beat the New York Giants to see if the New York Jets can take over New Jersey and win a Super Bowl, something Jets fans probably won't hear in their lifetime. Here we are against the 8-9 Giants in Tampa Bay for the Super Bowl. 0-0 first quarter start as we finally score 3-0 here. Offense needs to step up. Defense is doing good. 3-3 at halftime. Super boring and lame Super Bowl. I don't think anyone wants to watch a Jets versus Giants Super Bowl. But 20-13 against the Giants. They're going to drive down the field. They don't have enough time, and we will win the Super Bowl. It's crazy that an 8-9 team got that close to winning the Super Bowl. But either way, 20-13 will be your final score as Kyle Hamilton, as you can see there, wins a ring with the New York Jets and without Justin Fields. Even though it's a Justin Fields video, he could not cut it, so we win the Super Bowl without him. And Niles Daniels wins your Super Bowl MVP. Patrick Mahomes wins another league MVP, and Cam Hemsley wins the Offensive Rookie of the Year, and Dalton Payton wins the Defensive Rookie of the Year. Why couldn't we have that in year 1? And other than that, guys, this will be a successful rebuild. Even though we didn't rebuild the team with Justin Fields because he was buns, I still got the Jets a Super Bowl win, which is what matters in the end. So other than that, guys, I thank you guys all for watching. Let me know down in the comments below which team you would like me to rebuild next. Make sure you like and or subscribe, and I'll see you guys all in the next one.